What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris Works, Uptown's golden child. My light shines brighter than the sun. We're on the BUB Real podcast with Joey and Los. Make sure you tap in.
We back at it again at the TLS Studio.
You already know.
It's your boy Joey B, Joey Dundada, the chosen brown one. And we back at it, episode 8.
Episode 8, we here at the last stop, the only stop.
And we got my boy Los with us.
Yes, sir.
That. And this next gentleman that we're about to introduce, I'm not even going to introduce him. He's going to introduce himself. But, you know, he's a man of many trades. Chris Workshop. People know what it is.
It's good to be here. Good to be at home. Last stop has always been home. And I'm Los. Nice meeting you.
Likewise,
Joey, you know. Listen, man. I don't even know how to introduce myself because I've done so many things in my life. But right now, I just want to say I'm Uptown's golden child. I feel like I'm the one that has the brightest light, and I just want to share my light with everybody. And
come on.
I used to be a teacher for 12 years, bachelor's, 2 masters. Like every kid in the inner city, I thought I was making it to the NBA. That was totally false. I'm Dominican. And I left the Department of Education, and now what I'm doing is I'm doing holistic financial solutions. There's a lot of financial trauma out there, and that's not the only thing. It comes with mindset, it comes with emotional baggage, it comes with the intimacy, it comes with the spirituality, it comes with the nutrition, it comes with the fitness. So we're just out here trying to make people better every day by day. Right now, I've just been investing my time in this generational wealth course that I'm teaching to people, and I want people to find their freedom. And besides that, the other thing I do on the side is I do multifamily syndications. That's a very, I don't even know how to break that down to the audience right now because I was just with a bunch of whole real estate agents. They didn't understand what I did, but hopefully throughout the show we'll be able to chime in and.
For sure. We're definitely gonna get into everything that you do, every angle that you do. But first and foremost, what we do on this show. We definitely appreciate you because you're one of the individuals within the communities here, not in New York, but I'm pretty sure there's other people out there just like you all around the world that take that first step into being an entrepreneur, leaving a comfortable life, right? Because you were a teacher for 12 years, a coach for 12 years, and just to say one day that I think I want to try something new, something different, but you also want to bring your community around with you. That's what we're all about on this show. So definitely just want to give you your flowers. Yeah, Los, you want to say anything?
He's everything that BUB Real embodies, and this definitely going to be a classic conversation, classic episode. Man, we just met an hour ago, and the energy is already on 100, just like I can just tell, man, the energy exudes, the person that he is, just from the conversation we had off the camera. So it's definitely, it's going to be a good one and beneficial to everybody, so.
Yeah, and just to start it off real quick, I know you brushed on it lightly. Let's start at the beginning, right? You were a basketball coach, a teacher for 12 years. First, we hoop. I hoop. Yeah. Los is he's 007.
Yo, listen, we all inner city kids. We all hoop.
A little bit. I can run up and down.
If you need a temp, he's good for it.
Good.
What's up? What's your hooping background? What's that like for the listeners?
Yo, listen. Before we get into this episode and I start giving out these gems and sharing my light with everybody, I want to say that I wouldn't be on this show, and if I wasn't able to give y'all flowers because y'all doing beautiful things too. This show, when I saw the first clip and the ad. This ain't for black people, this ain't for Latinos, this ain't for white people, for Asians. This is for everybody. This is to inspire everybody. So I want to make sure I give y'all flowers too. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Love.
Nah, man, just like we said, we're from the inner city, and growing up, where we're from, you only idolize either hip-hop artists or you idolize athletes. So growing up, even though Los don't play ball, I'm pretty sure he idolized a lot of hip-hop artists, and that's the lane that he got into.
True.
So started my life just going to the park every single goddamn day of my life since I was like 13 years old. And I was basically leaving my house because there was a lot of domestic violence. There was a lot of shit going on in my house that it just made me feel weird. So sports was like basically like me running away from home. I'd go to the park at 6 in the morning. My mom would bring me lunch and a T-shirt to the park at 2 p.m.
People.
And then I'd just keep playing till the sun come down, and then I'd just go home and I did it again, and it was redundant. And basically basketball saved me because it was real rough in my crib, but basketball was the thing that also got me to college because my physical education teacher, Coach Gonzalez, he was Puerto Rican and he was 5'8". He actually graduated from Manhattan College right here. He used to run in the Olympics for Puerto Rico. So this dude was 5'8". He was dunking in high school. Like, he was fast as hell. And that's somebody who really I idolized and I was able to self-identify with. So that's basically how I started my journey with going to college. And at that time too, all my friends were locked up. So it was like, yo, like, what am I doing here? And it was basically like another escape. I wanted to get away from home. I had no friends. So basically, I went to college upstate near Syracuse and Binghamton and Cornell. I went to a school named SUNY Cortland. They called it the Crown City. It was not a city. It was more cows there than people. And that's how I just started going to school. And then after that, when I graduated, I got 2 masters in teaching and learning specialization. And basically what that means is basically the public school to prison pipeline. So I studied that in my master's degree and everything like that. But
wait, hold on. What do you mean the public school to prison pipeline?
Systems are designed to be systems, and the Department of Education and a lot of other systems are systems of oppression. So what you have to understand is that when you go into public school, they're teaching you how to be a factory worker, how to be there at 8, leave at 3. If you're after school, leave at 5. And they're not teaching financial literacy. They're not teaching mindset. They're not teaching vocational skills anymore. So basically, it's just like a system that was designed to box you in. Public school is not the same as Catholic school, as prep school, and private school. So like, it doesn't give you the tools to go out there into the world and be a solopreneur, entrepreneur like you guys. It teaches you to be a worker.
Gotcha. All right. I just wanted, so people were going to stop at that point and be like, damn, that's a tough ass.
Yeah, we definitely going to get into the Board of Ed too. That's you
know what I'm saying? Los, we spoke about it. Los went to Randolph. I taught at Randolph, and basically it's just like these public schools are designed to keep us oppressed, keep us hungry, keep us in jail, and not really give you an opportunity. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience in all the schools that I've been in for 12 years.
So, I really appreciate that because, you don't really have a lot of people being vocal of the educational system in that aspect, especially someone who's worked in that field. So you were a teacher for 12 years. You also coached. How was that for you?
And like I said, everything in my life revolved around sports, arts, and entertainment. So it was a blessing being able to coach kids, and it was a blessing just being able to be around the game. It was my therapy. Even though I wasn't playing it, being able to pass down my gems, my knowledge to other kids so that they can grow and get their tool bag better, it was a blessing. There's not one sport that I haven't coached. I've coached volleyball. I've coached bowling. I've coached baseball. I've coached basketball. And when I'm telling you I do these things, everything that I'm going to talk about on this show, there's a lot of people that talk about things. I do every single thing that I do at a high level. Check the track record.
I feel that. It was, what was one of the toughest challenges you feel like, now that you're in the position that you're in, right, with everything that you know, what was the toughest challenge being a teacher, right, working that 9 to 5, and also coaching? I know you got a lot away from coaching, but what was the toughest challenge being in that environment, not knowing the things that you know now?
Yo, listen, you don't know what you don't know. And when you're in there, like, it just becomes normal and it becomes redundant. You feel me? So you really got to unbreak your mindset and challenge yourself to get out of these things. One of the toughest things was always dealing with a bureaucracy, having to go through 1,000 people to get a vote for yes, to get some more basketballs, to get some more jerseys, to get resources that'll help these kids out, whether it's after school, whether it's academic or athletic. So I can't tell you that there's one thing that I've really battled, because there's so many different battles that I've chosen on my path. Because you can choose to walk away or you can choose to make a difference. So I love sports, and one of the biggest challenges in sports is being able to wake up a kid. Like, and I'm saying this humbly. I am saying this humbly. I feel like I am better than 90% of the Division I coaches I watch on TV. Reason being.
Okay, I want to
Reason being.
wanna
Reason being. Check the track record. My resume speaks for itself. I've won at every single level that I've coached. Can you imagine being Coach K? And I'm not saying better than Coach K, right? Can you imagine being Coach K? You got Zion Williamson, Kyrie Irving, Grant Hill, Christian Laettner, kids that got 90 averages, All-American, are super motivated to come to practice, are super motivated that outside of practice to work on their game. And then can you imagine coming into a public school? You gotta, kids don't make it to 6 o'clock in the morning practice. Kids are dealing with what I was dealing with at home, what you was dealing at home, what they were dealing at home. So now you gotta get to practice. I gotta motivate you. I gotta give you tutoring. I gotta give you the plays. We gotta break down film. We gotta lift weights. We gotta work out. We gotta be here every single day, Monday through Saturday. It's different when you're the only one doing it. And all of my success, I wanna attribute to team. Because there's not one thing that I've done that it wasn't team. Everything that I've done is team. So I've coached baseball at a high level, team. Basketball at a high level, team. But it'll be like 2 or 3 coaches. When you coach K, you got an assistant coach. You got an associate's coach. You got the academic coach. You got 2 recruiters on the road watching all the kids that qualify to go to your school. Like, and I know this basketball thing and this baseball thing at a high level. Like, I was doing dribble handoffs in 2013 when nobody was doing that. Like, so it's like, this is what I mean, like, it's just about opportunities and things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, credit to all those dudes, but like, yo, when you're dealing with what you're dealing, can you imagine waking up every day, Los, and trying to coach teams and be like, oh, this kid's not coming to practice today. Yo, dudes in college is not missing practice.
No, that's a fact. I definitely think of like, oh, what if I became a coach? And you got to be able to inspire people and inspire young kids and motivate them.
Exactly.
It's a fact.
I feel like to be a great coach, there's 3 things that you need. And a lot of coaches don't have these 3 things, right? Number 1, you need to be a motivator. Not a lot of people can motivate. Number 2, you need to be able to teach the game. So whatever sport that is, right? It's football. It's easy to go out there and a coach tell you, catch the ball. Well, what do you mean catch the ball? Teach me how to catch the ball, right? So, yo, listen, if it's above your chest, pinky's up. If it's below your chest, pinky's down. A lot of dudes out here catch the ball. You gotta be able to teach the game, right? Whether it's basketball, baseball, volleyball, whatever, you gotta be able to teach. A lot of people don't know how to teach. And then the third thing that I feel like you need as a coach, and I even see this at the highest levels, you gotta be able to coach every single play. Whether it's practice or whether it's the game. I used to be up by 40 or down by 40. I never sat down. I coached every single play, I motivated every single play, and I taught every single play. So it's like, I feel like those are the 3 things that you need to be a coach. And I feel like a lot of people like have 2 of the 3. I don't know which one, but like maybe you're a motivator teacher, maybe you're a coach that doesn't take every rep.
Damn, yeah, nah, that's true.
Yeah, man. And how challenging was it to get as a coach? Because you coached at Randolph, and I saw you turn the whole program around. I was looking at the records. You guys would be in teams by like 30, 40 some games. You guys, do you have an undefeated season too?
Yeah. Last year we had an undefeated season. That was my year that I walked off. And I'm gonna be honest, this Randolph, Randolph basketball is bigger than Randolph. We respect the game of basketball. We respect the basketball gods. We respect the logo. And everything that I did at Randolph, I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for some people in the community who helped out, right? And I want to say shout out to Coach Gonzalez. He's the guy that actually brought me in. He was a varsity head coach, and he brought me in to be his assistant, and he brought me in to be the head JV coach. And him and I, we played high school basketball together. When he was a senior, I was a sophomore. And we cried. We had a season that we were 2-12 in high school, and we cried in the locker room, and we were the only 2 dudes that cried. And it's because we just wanted it more.
Yeah.
And we'll speak about that wanting more, because I feel like I've always been somebody who wants more.
Yeah.
Just like everything else. You start your Instagram, you don't get 1 million followers the first day. You start basketball, you don't make 2 jump shots in a row in one day, right? So for us, it was just about the work ethic. We knew what everybody in New York City was doing. We knew what we had to do, and the only thing that we had to do was put in more pain. So we started opening up the gym every day from the first day of school to the last day of school at 6 in the morning. And we did that for free. And my man Gonzalez, who's the coach over there doing great things, back-to-back division champs, he's still opening the gym up at 6 in the morning, and he's still doing it from the first day to the last day. So throughout this show, I'm just gonna be speaking about there's always more, and you have to outwork the competition.
Yeah. And talk about coaching those kids, man, because those are kids from the inner city that look like us, black and brown kids, in an environment like Randolph. Because I remember I told you I was there in '06, and I was saying there was a fight every day in that school. You say, yo, it's the same thing. So, like, what was the challenges, like, going into that, you know, having less resources, like, you compare it to, like, the, you know, the Coach K's and the college, you know, programs, having little to no resources and coaching these kids that come from maybe broken homes or that look like us and are super relatable to us. Like, what was the challenges in that?
I'm gonna be honest, like, if a kid shows up to the practice, there is no challenge. Like, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? We come from that era where it's skins versus shirts, you feel me? So, like, it don't matter, you just gotta make it happen. But one of the biggest challenges that I started to notice early in my coaching career, especially when I started coaching in Randolph, was the student athletes' self-identity issues, as we were alluding to earlier about how we only grew up watching basketball players and musicians and artists, right? So I'd have a kid that'd be like, I'm going to Syracuse, or like, coach, I'm going to the NBA. And my job is, when I tell kids to come to Randolph, I'll be like, yo, listen, my goal is to make your dream come true. The biggest problem that I had with my students was self-identity. They weren't looking in the mirror. And then it's like, I still to this day, I still ask my friends, how can you make a kid see the future? You can't. Nobody can see the future, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I had 5'3" kids talking about they going to the NBA. So I'd be like, are you working out every day? When you leave school, are you lifting weights? Are you running hills and stairs? Are you making 300 jump shots a day? And then it's like, the kid would be depleted, but he'd still be like, yeah, I'm still gonna make it, coach. So that was one of the toughest things. And I feel like everybody deals with this in New York City because kids are only looking at those two things, and that's systematic. Whether it's social media, TV media, and any of those things, that was my biggest problem. And I guess dealing with the fact that kids don't know who they truly are and knowing that there's a process and there's a journey, so helping them go on that journey of self-discovery was the toughest problem.
Yeah, I can definitely agree to that. Like, you know, not to, you know, paint the picture for other students. I can definitely see it just because when I see a kid, right, I'll go to Saturday morning runs, and it'll be in a middle school or high school, and then they'll come in because they got practice. We'll go in at 8:30. Their practice is at 11, and I see them, and I'm just like, I see the want. Right, like I see it in them. Like, yeah, you can tell they want to hoop. Like, they got the swag, but you can tell they not. I see them doing their suicides, they bullshitting their suicides. I'm not painting a picture, but I definitely agree to what you're saying, and it's tough to put that battery in their back to do the 300 jump shots, to do the running the miles and the stairs and the hills.
There's 24 hours in a day. There's 168 hours in a week. How are you maximizing your time? How are you efficient? What is it that you're doing? What is your plan? Are you sticking to that plan? So I just feel like teaching people about themselves and mirror talk is like, for example, you sign up for a gym membership. The day you sign up for the gym is not the day you get a six-pack. Yeah. So you cannot go to the mirror at home. The mirror don't lie. Yeah. If you take off your shirt, you can't be like, I got a six-pack, and you're out here hanging with a belly. So it's like, that's the best way that I can kind of correlate the kids' self-identity. Like, they're looking in the mirror, they got the belly, but they're still looking, I got a six-pack. And it's like, yo, like, how do you switch this? How do you unlearn this and relearn this and teach something else? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely want to, you sound so passionate about this. I'm pretty sure, like, you're passionate about a lot of things. This is just who Chris Works is, everybody. But can we relate that sort of passionate to, you know, the classroom and what it was like teaching in the DOE, and, like, you know, was there any hesitation on your end from, like, you know, we see the passion in you now. Was there any hesitation walking away from all this? Like, what, if anything, made you walk away?
Every day, like, a lot of days, a lot of my friends ask me if I don't miss this.
Yeah.
And I'll be lying. I'll be a bold liar to your face if I tell you I don't miss it. Getting in at 6 a.m, shooting my jump shots, working out with the kids, and teaching. What I noticed is people learn differently.
For sure.
Right? So when I coach and I teach, there's 3 ways that I teach, right? There's visual, you can see it.
Yep.
There's auditory, you can listen to me. And then there's kinetic, you can do it.
Yeah.
So when I teach anything, I try to teach all 3 combined in one. Then I give you the motivation, the passion, and all that stuff, right? So teaching physical education was a little tough, especially in the city, because a lot of principals don't really, they call you a gym teacher, first and foremost, Cortland. Gym is the place, not the professor. It's physical education class, right? So now, some kids are struggling in physical education. You're supposed to come in here, play games, have fun, and all these other things. In the classroom, there's an achievement gap in New York State, right? And basically this achievement gap is the Regents standardized test, right? Everybody, if you're from New York City, you got to take like 7 Regents before you can even graduate to the next level. If not, you get your GED or you get a basic high school diploma. Wanted to make sure that I speak about that, right?
No, for sure. I hate that.
Right? There's an achievement gap because teachers are teaching the test. You cannot teach the test. You have to teach the skills and then you can teach the test. It's like if you start playing basketball for the first time, you got to learn how to pass, you got to learn how to dribble, you got to learn the IQ, you got to learn defensive principles, you got to work out. Instead, teachers are just, here, play basketball game. And you don't have any of these skills in your bag. So the reason that there's an achievement gap is because there's a communication gap. How can you teach a kid when you don't relate to him? You don't look like him. You don't feel like him. You ain't grow up like him. You don't got the traumas that he did. Shout out to all the teachers that sign up and try to do a great job. In trying, you fail. In doing, you succeed. So for me, it's more about the communication gap, bridging that gap before we get to the achievement gap. I've worked for principals that don't look like me, don't feel like me. They walk into school every day with a different Rolex. Yo, bro, like, you know what this little kid is over here trying to do to get a Rolex? Like, your kids are home getting home taught. Like, you're a public school principal. Why aren't they in public school? So, like, how can you relate to me when you don't know what I went through? And then how can you teach me when you don't even know how I learned?
You can't teach your child, your own child, what's being taught here. That's very true. That's tough. I definitely can see the importance of having, black and brown educators in here in New York City, so they can have someone to relate to. That's tough, man.
It's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I love my job. I love the benefits. I love the pay. I love the summers off. I love the weekends off.
But you walked away.
Yeah, because there's always more, and it's like, I'm somebody who I'm passionate about everything that I do. Like this shit, like, I wake up like this every goddamn day. And if you know me, you know. It was easy to walk away because at the end of the day, it was either my morals and my core value or the money.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing, like, yo, this is not aligned with who I am. This is not aligned with anything that I want to do in this world. And I'm seeing the trajectory in which the world is going. We're doing this podcast right now. Social media, like, I could teach on social media. I've taught over 30,000 kids in my life. 30,000.
That's a lot.
I'm saying
30,000?
I could do the math. I could break it down. You feel me? I used to work at a school called Park West. There were 3,000 students in that school, 3,500. I worked in that school for 6 years. So I influenced 6 years times 3,000. That's 18,000. 2 years before that, I was at a school that had 1,800 students. That's an extra 3,600. Randolph enrolls about 1,500 to 2,000 students a year. I taught maybe like an extra 12, 15,000 there. So it's like, I do this because it's like, I love to work hyper locally. And like you alluded to in the beginning, like, they look like us, they feel like us. I gotta give them this game. But it's like, the way the world is going, I could go on Instagram, hopefully this podcast blow up, we all get 100,000 followers and we can impact the world and we keep growing and stuff like that. So I decided to just like go on the journey and just really just step away from it.
As you should. I get it. Was there, my fault, I was
going to say, because you talked about core and values, like, what was it that wasn't aligning with the core and values? Was it the Board of Education system itself? Was it the way the schools was operated? Like, talk about that.
Was it missing something?
I feel like it's missing a lot.
It's definitely missing a lot.
I feel like it's missing a lot. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of great teachers. There's a lot of great principals. Great, and I don't use that word often, right? Because we're in the GOAT era, right? Right. So
Everybody's a goal, right?
everybody's a GOAT. No resume, no nothing. You're not a GOAT. It's just so difficult, man, to just like see that I was once sitting there, and I'm like, yo, these kids look like me and they might not have a chance to get out of this. So it's like, I feel like I've impacted the kids so much that every time I pull up to a baseball game or a basketball practice or something like that, they see me and they follow me. So they be asking me questions, yo, how do I do this in real estate? So I know it's working. The Department of Education is missing a lot of things. I was speaking to one of my mentors who's 68 years old. This is another gem that I'm giving you. Whatever you want to do in life, get somebody that already did it so that you have the guidance. You don't have to do it their way. But like if you're going to be jumping through the fire, the rings, and all these other things, make sure you get a mentor in whatever you do, whether it's podcasting, basketball, flipping fries at McDonald's. Make sure you, talk to the last dude that flipped fries at McDonald's so that you can get game. And it's like, the Department of Education is missing so many things. My mentor told me, he was like, Chris, when I was in high school back in the day, there was driver's ed. I think having a license is probably one of the most important things.
Yeah.
What about if you're a 16-year-old kid? We suffer from diabetes and obesity. That's why I became a physical education teacher. Your mom is at home dying. You can't even drive, right? He told me that there was first aid as a class. Like if something happened, they could teach you how to put your arm in a sling, or they teach you CPR. He said that they used to teach him shop, right? Like working with your hands, construction or plumbing or electricity. There's not that many vocational schools, right? So there's a lot of things that the Department of Education is missing. But more importantly, what I feel like is missing the holistic health. And I could break that down further into financial literacy, right? But we're not even going to get to that. We'll go to that a little bit later in the show. Very simple. Every single person in the world has to sign a lease. How are they not teaching you how to sign a lease? Every single person, at one point in your life, you have to open up a debit card and a credit card.
Bank account, yep.
4 years ago, my homegirl, she's doing great things, and she was teaching in Randolph. She was like, Chris, can you help me promote the senior prom? She was a senior teacher, so she had all the things. She was like, can you help me promote senior prom and all these other things? And I'm like, yeah, this is October. And I'm like, look, listen, I'm going to help you, but the first thing that got to happen is all the kids got to get a debit card. The principal shut that down.
Wow.
Because I'm thinking about how did you open up your bank account?
Honestly, I didn't have a bank account until my freshman year, like right before I went away to college. My mom was like,
Same
you're
after high school. Yep.
You're going to need a bank account now.
Right? And for me, it was the same exact thing. I graduated high school, and when I was going to college, like so already think about it, you probably got your money in a brown paper bag under the mattress, right? When you were a little kid.
Nah, I had a wallet. But
You got a big wallet, bro. Boy, it have nothing in it.
I was broke as fuck, nigga.
Me too. Right? So, like, these are things that are just needed, right? Math. If you working at Foot Locker and you got a 30% discount, I should be able to do that on a calculator. Very simple.
Yeah.
Budgeting, credit. Those are just a few things that I feel like are just missing. And those are very intricate things that people do on a regular day.
Yeah.
There should even be a nutritional class where you can cook or you can make your own meal plan, right? Because, well, what are we doing? We're feeding these kids the same food that we're feeding the inmates in Rikers Island.
Yeah.
Prisoner pipeline, don't forget that, right? So it's like, there's a lot of things that could work. And I feel like education is cool, and you should be picking your major in college to do whatever the hell you want. Right. But like high school, middle school, elementary school, we should be giving you the fundamental principles of life.
Yes.
Of life. Another thing that I'm very, very, very passionate about, and listen, everything that I talk about, I've done research, I've studied, I've Googled, I've YouTube, I've read books, and I've paid tens and tens of thousands of dollars for holistic therapy. Mindset, mindfulness, meditation.
3 M's.
Kids, humans, adults, grandparents. Bro, like, you really got a lot of trauma that you got in your body, and it's like you can't control everything in life. How many times have you argued with your best friend, with your parent, with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is that you're arguing with, and you can't even control your own emotions? You scream into the top of your lungs, right? So why is it that we're not teaching kids meditation? Because that's what's happened. Back to the achievement gap. These kids are getting these tests, and they're getting anxiety. How are we not teaching them? Yo, look, listen, this test is gonna come. Whenever you see a question that's coming, take a deep breath, focus, and like release. You're just telling kids take the test. So now kids are just here. Yo, I'm not even trying to answer this. I'm just waiting for the time. I'm gonna take the zero. I'm gonna walk out.
Can I do a subplot real quick?
Go ahead.
Saying the same shit that happened to me as a kid. I was in 3rd grade. This is how I gotta look back. The reason why I failed the test, I got anxiety that day. There was a rumor, right, of our assistant principal that the day that we would take the test, that she would go into classrooms, that she would give a kid a kiss on the head. And it was said that each kid that got the kiss on the head would fail that test.
I said the kiss of death.
I know it was you, Fredo.
So, by all means, she walked into that classroom and it's like, fuck, you know, they got the desk one by one. I'm like, fuck. She coming in, she getting closer. Boom, she kissed me on the head. And I'm like, fuck. I was just over. No matter what studying I did, no matter how prepared I was, it was out the window. Everybody was looking at me. It was like, well, son, it was good knowing you, bro. You ain't making it to the 4th grade, my nigga. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man, this crazy. It be like that.
Fucked up. I was fucked up. Fast forward to the summertime, same thing. I was in summer school, they let you retake the test. Teacher was like, oh, when you finish your test, come to the rug. I'm gonna read you the the Chronicles of Narnia. That was my favorite book back then. So I'm like, fuck this shit. Sit on the rug.
See, all the way down.
All the way down. Sit on the rug, nigga. And that's how I got left.
It happens, Los. You have an interesting perspective that not a lot of people get the opportunity to get the education that you got post Randolph. So you were part of the public school system, and you went to New Rochelle High School.
Yeah, I went to Western. I saw the difference like firsthand because, like I told you, there was a fight every day. I think at the time there was one smart board in the whole school. I go to New Rochelle High School, smart board in every single classroom, 3 football fields, a whole gym, swimming pool, all that within the school.
That's nuts.
You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, it shows the differences between the Board of Ed, but they're getting tax dollars over there in Westchester County.
Yeah.
So you see the amount of resources that they get as opposed to the Board of Ed. Like, they're not allocating the resources properly and not teaching the right things in the Board of Ed.
Absolutely.
I think that touches on the bigger aspect or the bigger, you know, story behind it of like Black and brown communities are getting this underachieving curriculum, right? That they're like lacking this financial literacy, or they're lacking the holistic wellness of having this pool, 2 football fields, less fights, teachers, you know what I mean? Like teachers that can actually relate to them in some aspect. Because when you think about it, right, when kids walk away of like having to now learn how to operate through their feelings and things like that, the school is to really set you up for those things. And we're not getting that in our schools here in the city.
Yeah, and you got to think about what Los is talking about. He went to a school where the community was paying property taxes.
Yeah.
So that's not like, if there's a problem in the school, the problem's going to get fixed quick because the whole community's coming to the school and they want to speak to the board and, yo, Mr. Joey did this, all right, he's fired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, man. It's a lot that I personally feel like is wrong with it. And I've been challenged by a lot of people. So, like, you know how people are. So what are you doing, Chris, to fix the world? Yo, I'm in here every day at 6 in the morning showing these kids that their parents are up at 5. They're going to work, so you got to work just as hard as your parents to make whatever dream you got come true. And then I was doing academic tutoring on my own. I'm calling parents, yo, do not let Lowe's go outside tonight. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I just felt like I personally could not change the system because there's so many politics involved.
Yeah.
And each kid costs X amount of dollars. You feel me? So like at the end of the day, this is a factory.
As you said, prison to
Yeah, public school to prison pipeline.
Yeah, that's right.
It's real. It's real. Think about how many kids that go to Catholic school, prep school, private school go to jail. Everybody commits crimes, but think about the kids that's in public school. It's like it's more normal, and it's more like, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's just Joey. He's going to jail again because you're in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like also something I wanted to point out. When you're going to these schools outside of the public education system, right? You're going to these schools to thrive. Fieldston, Riverdale, Horace Mann, New Rochelle. You're going there to thrive. Los, how many fights did you witness in the 3 years you was at New Rochelle?
A handful, maybe.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because
It
let's
happens.
be serious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, kids fight.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
to witness 5 fights in 3 years, that's crazy. You was witnessing 5 fights in 1 week in Randolph.
Exactly.
So now when you're going to school, you're not even going to learn, bro. You're going to survive.
Yeah.
Because you might be the next kid that might get hit with a glizzy at lunch in a food fight. You might be the next kid, yo, get out my way. And it's like, yo, like, the parents of these kids have a lot of depression, anxiety, and trauma problems too. Because they're the ones that are going to work. They don't even...
Part of the system.
You feel me? At the end of the day, they're getting home at 6 o'clock. They deadbeat. Now they got to cook for their kid and everything like that. They're tired. The kids don't know what they're doing. How many of these kids are reading to their kids before they go to sleep? Like, you're drained as a parent. You're doing everything you can to survive in the real world, and the kid is doing everything he can to not get beat up on the train.
To survive it, exactly.
Then you get to the school, some teacher says something dumb because she don't even relate to you. Yeah. She don't know that your mom got anxiety and y'all walking out the door together. You don't even got deodorant on. Your hair's all messed up. Yeah. Like, it's all a system.
Yeah.
And that's just my perspective and my reality of it. However other people witness it and experience it, I'm not there to tell them that they're wrong or that they're right. What I'm naming is real facts aside with my truth.
For sure, nah, for sure. Just, oh man, you can go on for days of like how this really affects people. We can talk about, you know, how it affects us because we all came out. We see it firsthand with our nieces, our nephews. It's definitely something that needs to change. I think for myself, the most important thing that we can do to our kids and the educational system, you alluded to it a little bit. It, like, you know, your kid saw you post like real estate stuff. I think the most important thing that we can teach our kids is financial literacy. Like, if that's one thing that a kid from outside of the city is getting, not to throw race into it, but like a white family is teaching them, is how to take care of their money, how to, you know, build credit, things of that sort. I think that's something that we can definitely instill in our community.
Yeah, I would agree. And also, it's like, health is holistic, man. Health is holistic. So it's just not one thing. However, financial optimization...
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Fixes everything.
Yeah.
Because, yo, I got this thing that... So I went to school, and I went to one of the best schools for physical education in the whole entire nation. Real talk. It's like maybe top 2 in the Northeast Coast. And they tell you to take your phys ed serious, your nutrition serious, your health serious, right? So it's like, where we come from, financial literacy is very important because, let me go back a second, right? To what I was saying about holistic health. I got this thing called the 7 pillars of health that I teach, and it's holistic health, right? So it has to do with fitness, it has to do with nutrition, spirituality, intimacy, mental and emotional. So I'm not saying that finances goes above anything. However, when you financially messed up, you're eating poor nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're eating poor nutrition, you're physically messed up. That's already 3 things.
Yeah.
That's already 3 things, right? So now, let's go back to the nutrition aspect of it, right? When you financially messed up. All these parents are signing up for all these resources, public assistance and welfare and everything like that. Yo, they're giving you the money to go get the government cheese at the store. So you're getting diabetes, you're getting obesity. That's why I became a physical education teacher, because my parents, my whole entire family suffered from that. And when I was in that, you don't know what you don't know. My father used to tell me, you got 2 feet, why you got so many sneakers? Save all your money. I'm like, bro, saving your money is probably one of the dumbest things you can do. Money is a tool. The tool has to work harder for you than you work for it.
That's a bar.
So now going back to this financial shit, right? When you financially messed up, nutritionally you messed up.
Yeah.
If you nutritionally messed up, then for sure physically you messed up, right?
Yeah.
When you financially messed up, mentally, you're a sponge, bro. Like not even like you're bad because how am I gonna get this first dollar? Now you got the anxiety. Now you got all the other stuff that comes with that, right? When you financially messed up, emotionally you messed up. Yo, how am I gonna get this dollar? What I'm gonna do? Damn, I'm messed up. When you financially messed up, spiritually you're messed up. You stop believing in God or whatever your higher up is. You be like, I don't even got hope. I don't even got faith. How am I gonna get this dollar?
Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh.
It's real. It's real. It's real. Like, it's
Yeah.
funny when you don't think about it. And like, I've done a lot of work to break this down.
Right, like God's not blessing me. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Yo, God, I'm doing everything. Where my money at?
I always say a haircut fixes it. You know what I mean? It don't matter how broke I am. If I got a cut, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be all right. Oh, go ahead. I can cut you off.
Right? No, you're right. But then it's like, even as men, right? And shout out to the women that are listening because ladies, y'all gotta tap in. Y'all the ones that make the world go. Like when you financially messed up, you're not even aroused, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're not even trying to get home. You're not trying to have sex with your girl, your man. It's like, yo, like I gotta get this dollar. Like I ain't even with all that. So like, for me, I teach holistic financial solutions. I'm out here on Instagram and it says financial freedom and all these other things, but nah, bro, this comes with a whole package. It's not just one thing. If you're sick, you can, like I told you earlier, you can have a headache, you can have a stomach ache, I could have a throat infection. You go to a doctor, they give you a pill, everybody's getting the same Tylenol pill.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like that's not gonna work. We need to have holistic implementation of health. But that's the FDA, that's the government, that's another system that we ain't even gonna get into because I could go about that for days.
Don't do that.
No, yeah. I ain't trying to get the feds coming in here, CIA. Like we gotta make sure that
Nah, but we all about you know, battling the system and things like that. I think as we get older, like you start realizing money is the key to, like, it's not saying that money, like, we all know money is the root of all evil. We understand that. We're not saying to sell your soul for some cash. We're saying to use cash for the things that you want in life. That's you. No matter what nobody tell you, say, I want to do this, and that. You're gonna need cash. You want to have a happy home? You're gonna need cash.
the number one reason that there's divorces in the United States of America is the finances.
Yeah, finances.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything. Not saying. People always say, "Oh, when you get the money, does it buy happiness?" Nah, I don't buy happiness, but it can leverage happiness.
Absolutely. You ain't thinking about how you're gonna get this dollar to pay this rent. I might get kicked out. I might get evicted, right? So it's like there's a lot of money myths and a lot of money misconceptions. And a lot of people don't understand it because they're living in fear of money. And they're like, you don't
Fear
listen,
of money. Fear
listen.
of money. That's facts.
Listen. There's a lot of dope women that are doing a lot of dope things. They don't understand money.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of dope brothers out here doing a lot of dope things and they don't understand money either. There's a lot of misconceptions. Like, I went to this middle school like 2 months ago with my girl, and there was somebody from Chase up there talking about, you need to save all your money. You need to save all your money. And then the lady was up there talking about, you know how you can start saving money? Don't drink Starbucks.
What?
Instead of buying a $7 coffee every day, if you don't do it for 5 days, you save $35. Listen,
Put it in a savings account that gives you no return.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like, yo, what are you doing saving $35 a week? That's like $140 a month. That's not gonna make a big difference in your life. It might do it with diabetes and all these other things, but it's like, my girl got up there and she was like, they're lying to you. You don't have to save your money. You have to put your money in use.
She got up there?
Yo, bro, she ran up there, bro, and she was like, yo, I'm going to go do this. I'm like, yo, go ahead, because people need to, like, really understand. Yo, the people from Chase, they didn't want to speak to us. They didn't want to look at us or nothing. Like, we waved. We said happy stuff. A couple of people came up to after and were like, yo, what are you talking about? You can't save your way to wealth. And I'm like, yo, look, listen, just follow me on Instagram, take my phone number, and I'll explain this shit to you later. Like, there's too much going on right here, and, like, this is not the right energy. Chase was trying to kick us out. You know what I'm saying?
She's gangster for that.
Yeah, for every dollar that you give the bank, the bank is using 16.
Yeah.
So like, and then like I could give you so much money
Nah,
bonus, but
that's true. That's true.
it's just like
put people on. Put the people on. They need to be put on because we all know that the banks are leveraging our money to get more assets, to get more stocks, to use our money so they can make more money. Kind of
Giving you 0.1% back.
yo, bro, look, listen.
If any,
You're right.
yeah.
Listen, let's talk about that point one real quick because I want to go back to that point one. Just like sparked something in my head. Back to the sports, real quick, right? Because the bank is giving you point one. You know how many people? You know what your chance is at making it to the NBA? 0.0198.
Yeah, once I found that out, that's when my hoop dream
You understand?
ended.
I mean, your height ended the hoop goals too.
No, I mean, so that kind of went into it a little bit, but no. Muggsy Bogues, baby, I got.
Mr. New York City, baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, the numbers never lie, right? Like, how am I gonna tell a kid, yo, you're making it to the NBA and you have a 0.0198 chance? That's not real. Like that's not even like a 1% chance that you have.
Yeah.
And then it's like the bank is talking about 0.1%. Bro, one of my first investments, no lie, was buying Apple stocks. I have an iPhone 8 and it's messed up or whatever the case may be. I got a 14 now, right?
Okay, I was about to
got a
say.
14. Like I got a 14.
You
I
said
got a
roll
14 because you know what I'm saying. The content creation, the social media, the influencer, like all this corny things that you got to do to be validated in the world. So I got to be out here and I got to step into my power, into my vulnerability. So that's why I got the 14.
Yes.
But I had the iPhone 8, right? When the iPhone 11 dropped, it was the pandemic. Or it was about to be the pandemic. And I'm like, yo, like this phone, still on blue messages. I get all the apps. I'm good. I had like $1,000. I started looking at Apple stock. I'm like, yo, like, all right, Apple has 24 products. They got the AirPods, they got the iPod, they got the desktop, they got the laptop, they got the Nano, they got the throwback, right? They got 24 products. Everybody got Apple. If you're that one person in the room with the Android, everybody looking at you funny. If you're the one dude that messes up the chat with the green text, everybody looking at you funny. So I invested into Apple. I threw $1,000 into that instead of buying the phone. Because I was like, yo, look, I want to hold shares of this company and own this company and have ownership in this company because that's what everybody's buying. Then what happens? iPhone 13 comes out. I'm like, I'm gonna buy this shit. I need to buy it. I put another $1,000 into Apple. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just because.
You're saying you put $1,000 into the
I bought stocks. I bought shares.
And then you bought the phone.
I bought $2,000 first.
Versus the price of the phone, damn near.
So now every time you buy a phone, every time you buy AirPods, every time, shout out to my man Pudge, he buys something that got to do with Apple. Like, I'm getting paid because it's going up, the stock. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these are little things that, like, I was teaching my students and I was teaching the world. And, like, what I teach is just like this show. It's for everybody. It don't matter if you're 13 years old or 83 years old. This is for everybody. And that's why I wanted to be on this show, because this is for everybody. And everybody got to lock in. Everybody got to look in the mirror. Everybody got to do better. Everybody got to do more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like I'm saying, like, I want to give you y'all flowers because what y'all doing is very special, man, for the community.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. I just to continue with what you're saying with, like, what we're about, it's like, yo, be real comes with giving it your all. Because you're doing it all to be yourself. Everything that you're doing is, like I always say, like, you always talking about, people always say, like, what do people pour into you? What do people, like, you know, what do you do to yourself? Mm-hmm. What do you pour into yourself every day? And if everyone's pouring into that divine authenticity of being themselves every single day, they can achieve their highest stature that they want to become if they're pouring into themselves the things that they want.
And it all goes back to self-identity. Mm-hmm. You gotta look in the mirror. Do you have the six packs or you don't have the six pack? Is it like, are you living congruently in your core values? Are you living in integrity? Because at the end of the day, like we said, you can't even control your feelings sometimes when you're arguing, you know what I'm saying? And something about the self is like, yo, this journey, it could be a lonely journey. You feel me? And I have this thing that I talk about buses, right? And I love buses because we from New York City. MTA is always running late or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until, right? So on my whole entire life, the way that I like to draw it up is everybody has their own bus.
Yes.
There's the Joey bus, there's the Los bus, there's the Chris Laura bus, right? I was on my bus for like 30 years and I wasn't in control of my bus. I wasn't the one driving my bus. I was letting my man drive my bus, my mom drive my bus, my other friend drive my bus, and I'm just a passenger on my bus on my journey. So it's like I had to look in the mirror and I had to be like, hold up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on my bus and people driving this shit however they want.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, the first thing that I had to do, and shout out to my man Juan Thrive, like his holistic health that I did took me to another level. One of the things that his program taught me was you need to be loyal to your principles, not loyal to people. If you are loyal to my principles, we gonna rock. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you're not loyal to my principles, yo, I'll catch you 4 times a year. We'll watch a game, we'll watch a fight, we'll chill, and we keep it moving.
Fact.
So, the first person, yo, mama, don't hit me, mama. The first person that I had to say literally, not literally, but like figuratively, that I had to say F you to was my mom. Because my mom was overextending herself and over-helping. So now I'm a grown-ass man. I barely know how to do laundry. I barely know how to fold. I barely know how to cook. I'm over here having taco night with my nephews. I forget the cheese. I go downstairs to the store. I'm cooking everything. I put things on pause. I go back downstairs. I come back upstairs. Everybody's eating tacos.
Your mom finished the job.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like when you're talking about growth, I need to do this. I want to finish these tacos. I want to do this laundry.
You pour that. You gotta pour that into you. You gotta pour that into you.
And my mom is like, yo, she's helping me, bro. She's doing everything for me. And it's like, yo, like, I love my mom and everything like that. I had to run away from home again. Be my own man. Cook my own food. Do my own laundry. And everything. Because she was the one that was driving my bus. So once I took control of my bus, and the first person that I told my mom, like, that was my mom, I told her, yo, fall back. Once I did that to my mom, and yo, I love my mom. My mom is my favorite person on planet Earth. It was easy to tell this best friend, that best friend, this cousin. Yo, bro, look, listen. This is the BX12 Express. This is going straight from 207 to Bay Plaza. Express. If you don't like the way this is going, get off right now. The doors are open. If you don't like how I'm riding this bus, I'm going to open the doors. You got to jump out because it's not stopping. So I'm saying, like, you got to take control of your steering wheel. You got to take control of your life. And it all starts with self-accountability.
Yes.
And that mirror talk that I'm going to keep talking about, because self-identity is a big thing, man.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, love. My fault.
No, I was gonna say, sometimes you don't even notice that until you out on your own. You know what I mean? Because that was the same thing with me. My mom was doing everything until I moved out. I didn't know how to cook. I never washed clothes until I moved out. Like, everything is like, you don't have that self-identity. And then subconsciously, people are driving your bus, like you said, and you don't even know it. Because you're around all these things. You don't have no self-identity or whatsoever. You're not accountable who you are yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our parents are out there busting their behinds, making ends meet for us. So it's like, how many chores did you really have as a kid?
Right.
Did your mom really check up on your homework? Did she read you a bedtime story? Absolutely not.
Definitely not.
Right?
This fucking
However, this is, remember, like, we're unbreaking generational trauma.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you're doing it now, that's it. You already broke that umbilical cord, you feel me?
Right.
So at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know until you out there doing it on your own, you feel me?
Exactly.
So it's like, sometimes you just gotta, like, open up the cage, let it fly away, it comes back, and if not, it's cool.
I think this conversation is perfect to, where I want to bring the audience in and let them know a little bit more about yourself, and also talk about mindset. I think that's where we're pretty much going into. So you do a lot of stuff in life and wellness and things of that sort. So, I want to bring in that aspect of your life as far as the things that you do, like on social media, the people that you walking around with, and the things that you're pursuing or pushing out into the community. What does that look like for the listener standpoint, so they get an idea of what it is, those things that you're pushing out there?
Everything positivity, everything empowerment, everything showing people that there is an abundance of opportunity and not to live in that fear and in that scarcity. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you see me, there's so many people out here that are doing negative things to impact the community, or like these rappers talking about drill, or
He doesn't
man, don't
like
get me,
it.
don't get me
Yeah.
started.
yo, listen,
Not a
listen,
fan of
man.
drill.
I had to stop doing all this hip hop thing because I used to manage artists and I used to be a part of the music industry so much, and it's because it wasn't just aligned with my core values. Back to that, you got to be loyal to your principles. You can't be loyal to people. So how I'm out here preaching positivity. You can do this. Free your mind. Finances is the key to freedom. Holistic health. And then I'm over here talking about drill, schmurder, music shit. Like, it's just not aligned with who I am. I want to hear what you got to say about that, Los.
What about the drill?
Yeah, about anything that is negative, because you know what I'm saying? Like, we're here for a reason. There's a lot of synergy and there's a lot of positivity. So it's like, yeah, I want to hear what you got to say about the drill and all these other things too, because, like, yo, this is my interview, but, like, no lie, like, I'm about to put you on the hot seat too, because y'all offering a lot of things. Everything that this podcast has to offer is what I'm offering in the real world, right? Yesterday, I went to play golf for the first time. I was out there on the greens for 8 hours, like just working on my stroke, because as human beings, we have to evolve. You just can't stay in the same box, bro. Like, I'm 35 years old.
Preach.
I'm 35. I'm still good at basketball. I still compete with the best of them and everything. But when I'm 52, like, I'm not going to be doing this. So I'm working on who is Chris Laura next week. Who is Chris Works next month? Who is Chris Works in the next decade? So it's like I'm chasing somebody and I know who I'm chasing. And on this journey, sometimes, you know, there's a fog in your bus, you can't see. Sometimes it's thunderstorms. Sometimes it's a clear drive. But I'm just here on real life. Like, if I posted a tenth of the things that I do in my everyday life, bro, like, it's just who I am. It's positivity. Like, that's all I want people to know. Like, yo, wake up, man. Like, wake up. And
Let's work.
yeah, let's work. You know what I'm saying? It don't work if you don't work.
Yeah.
And hold yourself accountable.
Again. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, listen, I got dark days. I try to make it to the gym every day at 6 in the morning, bro. There's days that I don't even get up till like 7:30 in the morning, and that's late for me. So it's like accountability. Like, damn, I didn't make it today, but I still got to get that hour working out in. Like, what am I gonna do? So for me, I don't want to be out here talking about like I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, this comes with a lot of dark days, man. Like, and I'm not out here preaching entrepreneurship and solopreneur because, as we said, it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just preaching and from my experiences, from my research and everything that I've done, I just want to give people the tools.
Yeah.
You take the tools, you add it to your tool bag, and you use that tool however you got to use that tool. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give people like little gems, little tools, and that's all that is about. That's what I'm out here doing.
Yeah. So, and how, we're going to talk about the negativity stuff. I really want to say something about that. But what are those tools? Like, how are you giving people these tools real quick?
Bro, just like, no lie, like I can't even, like, I live in this every day. I live in this every second. I believe in every human being. You know what I'm saying? We have this thing that we talk about. All human beings are capable. But are you willing? Not a lot of people that got that willpower to come up here and like start a podcast show. Everybody's capable of starting their own podcast show.
Yeah.
Right.
How many people are willing?
Yeah.
Everybody's capable of going to the gym. How many people are willing? Everybody's capable of understanding financial literacy. How many are willing?
Yeah.
So like I'm just like I said, there's always more. I'm just teaching people the mindset of abundance. And then around all that comes the finances, the emotional health, the mental health, the nutritional health, physical health. I'm not telling you go lift weights, go run 20 miles. Yo, listen, go for a walk, bro.
Yeah.
Smile at the sun.
Yeah.
Like, go do a fake 30-minute workout on YouTube. Like, do anything that is going to take you, like we said earlier, 1% better every day. One step, one breath.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like I'm just living in my life congruently through and through, and in my holistic integrity. And it's like, if you know me, you know what I'm about. If you don't know me, follow me. If you don't follow me, like, come to one of the events. We'll talk about all these things. If you're not coming to one of these events, hopefully sooner or later this podcast will get out there, get to millions of listeners, and they'll get it from here. But I'm just living my life, bro. I'm not doing anything special. For me, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just living my life.
Yeah. And that goes with your greater purpose, right? Like you're just doing what you think is right for you, and if that ends up being the thing that helps millions of people, then so be it, right? At the end of the day, you know that you're moving right, according to Chris. To talk on that negativity, real quick, I wanted to just say that, you know, we talk about mindset, positivity. That's something that you definitely throw emphasis on. But I think that a lot of people who are listening to this, I want y'all to walk away with knowing that you may not be negative in your everyday work, right? You may be, like Chris was alluded to in the beginning, just going to work 8 to 5, and those things may be just comfortable for you. And I think people will people will not see the realness of what it is to be comfortable and how that can be negative towards you.
Man,
How you
complacency can be a big hindrance, man.
Exactly. And people will, now here's where the negativity comes by, right? When, let's say all three of us, right, we do our thing, this and that, and then Chris starts seeing the bigger picture. He's like, nah, yo, I gotta, how you said, like, just fuck you to us two, and he starts doing his thing. The negativity comes to the part where it's like, where we see now Chris is doing his thing, and we like, this nigga's bugging. Why he doing that? You know what I mean? Instead of saying, I wonder if or just giving you your flowers at the same. That's the thing that I feel like when it comes to Black and brown community and what we're trying to break is that type of negativity. Is that complacent comfortability where if you see even someone else trying to do something different to better themselves or achieve certain things in life, that we just put them down. We need to uplift. And even if we're comfortable, we need to uplift.
You know why that is? That's because your light shines so bright that people think you're taking away from their light. When in all reality, it's like, that's insecurities, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I've lost people that I love in this world. I'm talking about family members, best friends, because I live in this shit every day. And it's like, yo, how does he have so much energy to be the same person every day? And then you start seeing the energy. And I never believed in that. None of my friends hated on me and stuff like that. And, yo.
Nah, it's because it's not hate. It's not real hate. It's just negativity. It's just being negative.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, nah, you bugging.
And it's
like,
insecurities.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they're comfortable, right? You were going to say something. What you were going to say about that?
No, I was going to say it's just the mentality, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have shackles in their mind. Like, bro, listen. I don't like to talk about actual money count and stuff like that. The last 6 years of the Department of Education, I was making $120,000. In order for me to get there, I needed to get a bachelor's and I needed to get 2 masters. When I got my 2 masters, I found out I hit the ceiling. Okay. I cannot go any higher. The only thing I could do is be a principal. I love I'm in sweats right now, bro. Imagine a principal. So it's like,
I would have fucked with it. I would have asked.
You probably would have had to put another 10 years though just to get to that principal spot.
So it's like, you know how many people told me, Chris, you can do both. Chris, don't leave. Yo, it was very, very few people that were behind me and were like, yo, just go for it, do it. Everybody else is living in scarcity. Everybody else is living comfortable to what y'all were talking about. The most uncomfortable thing is to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like my pops, man, like my pops don't know how to read and write his own name in any language. I swear to God, I put that on everything I love, bro. We'll talk. My father's been a factory worker his whole entire life. And I respect him because he put food on our table every day. The bills was paid every day. But you don't know what you don't know. I'm saying first generation, he came here by himself. He didn't know what he was doing. Till this day, he's 67. He just retired like 2 weeks ago. He still doesn't know how to read and write his own name. So listen to what I'm telling you.
That's tough.
The worst mistake I ever made in my life, I went to go do my taxes with my pops one time.
Sorry, I'd like to.
Bro,
it just sounds funny.
Bro,
a man doesn't know how to read, but he does his taxes.
No, like we went to the accountants and the people that do it for you. So it's like And this is a lot of the shit that we living in. You feel me? Like, think about how many Africans come over here, how many Haitians, how many Caribbean people, how many Dominicans come, and they don't know how to read. And the first thing that they want to do is Uber because it's easy, flip fries at McDonald's because it's easy, construction because it's easy. They don't understand reading. They don't understand contracts. They don't understand their paycheck.
Got the Indians in Dunkin' Donuts.
You feel me? My father, but at least they own it, right? My father,
That's a fact.
my father, he saw I was making double what he was making. So it's like, that was awkward for him.
Yeah.
That was awkward for him, you know what I'm saying? So after he saw that, and I told him I was gonna quit my job, he was like, you make good money, what you leaving for? This is the third, what's the problem, huh? I'm like, yo, look, listen, I have a bigger purpose, I have a bigger plan. And he didn't understand it, right? Because like he's so like one-dimensional.
Yeah.
The way that he understood it, what I wanted to do, I had to break it down like this to him. I'm like, yo, you see the guy that you work for? Yeah. One day, I want his son to work for me. And like, he saw it and he opened his eyes because for him, it was an authority thing. You feel me? Like, he couldn't see that what I wanted to do. And then he was like, oh, so you want to be a boss. And like, he still to this day doesn't understand it. My mom doesn't understand it. A lot of people in the Department of Education don't understand it. I've done 2 career days at high schools the last 2 weeks, and everybody's telling me the same thing. Yo, you could do both, you could do both, you could do both. No, I can't, bro. I can't do both because this is not one of my core values, and I can't do both because then I'll be cheating the grind. Like, I need to, like, have the narrow vision. Yeah. And it's like, it goes back to that comfortable thing, man. You have to unlearn, and you have to relearn. So it's like, how do I learn that the Department of Education was fake? Or like, you can take that in and you can take that for your whole entire life and see it as the same way, right? As a student, as a teacher, or as whatever it is. And then it's like, I unlearned it. There's mental tricks that you can do. And then I had to just relearn a whole new lifestyle. Something that I had to unpack on my journey is understanding that everything that I knew in my life was not real or was not normal. So I had to unlearn a lot of habits and relearn new habits. I had to unlearn how I learned and relearn a different way to learn. And this happens in our community a lot where people get fixated on the one thing that they learn, and that's the end all be all. Oh my God, that's the one thing that I know and that's it. They don't change it up. So you gotta be able to be diverse because these are it's like kind of like your mind is shackled. You see how rappers be like, trap my body, can't trap my mind? Or whatever the fuck they be saying? Bro, like, yes. Your mind can be trapped without you even knowing it.
Right.
So it's like, you don't know what you don't know. So how many times, number one line I've been hearing lately, if I would've knew this 5 years ago, if I would've known this back when, nah, bro, like, you just have to unlearn what you learned back then, and now that you learn this, you have to relearn and do it again, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever you thought was normal, boom, now you have to erase that from your mind, and then you have to compute something else into your mind. The best way I can explain it is, humans are creatures of habits.
Humans are creatures of habits. That's tough.
Right? So let me explain that to you. Let me break it down, right? You've been brushing your teeth your whole entire life. Your whole entire life. And maybe this is a bad example, but you've been brushing your teeth your whole entire life. What if one day I told you, stop brushing your teeth because it's the worst thing that can happen to you in your life? Right? I don't want no people out there not to brush their teeth. Keep brushing your teeth. But I'm just talking about the habit. You've built a habit your whole entire life, hopefully, waking up every single goddamn day, brushing your teeth, and brushing your teeth at night, if you do both. Now imagine I'm telling you, that's not normal. You've been doing this for 30 years, 25 years, 50 years. Now you have to unlearn brushing your teeth, and then the next day in the morning when you wake up for the rest of your life, you're not supposed to brush your teeth. You're supposed to relearn a new habit, right? So it's like, how do you do that when we're creatures of habits? There's I don't want to say tricks because that sounds like a scam. There's tips and there's strategies that you can implement in your life, right? Like reading a book, meditating, mindfulness, all these things. It all starts with self-reflection, self-identity, and self-accountability, though. And the most important thing is it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
Not everybody opens their mind. Not everybody wants to learn. I'm an adult learner. I learn from little kids. I learn from my nephews as 5, 15 years old. I learn from anybody. Like, another thing, right? Unlearn and relearn. I went to China in 2016, I believe. I went to China. And you see how we count money. You either fold the money, you count it, boom, boom, boom.
Fold it right back towards facing you.
You feel me? Hopefully you got that rubber band, you feel me?
You know what I mean?
The Chinese, they count money with their pinky.
Huh.
YouTube this, Google this. When this podcast comes out, there needs to be like a little video up right here. Right here. Of Chinese people counting money. They're so efficient and so fast in counting money, they do it with their pinkies. And I'm like, I tried it, and I'm like, it's the best way to do it, but it's like, I tried it for like maybe 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Because I've been counting money the only way I know how to count money my whole life. So it's like, you have to unlearn to relearn. There's so many other examples I could give, and what would you say that you had to unlearn that was a myth, a misconception, or a lie, and then you had to relearn something else? What is something for you guys, Los?
I mean, the perfect thing I was going to say, I was going to go back to, I think the video you got pinned on your IG where you said you had to unlearn, because you thought the misconception was, I have to work hard for money. I got to put 60 hours in. I got to put X amount of dollars work in to get a certain amount. You know what I mean? When you can't, you might make the money work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the biggest misconceptions.
Bingo. That's a big one right there. I have to work 9 to 5, and if I want more money, I have to work overtime.
Right.
That you have to unlearn that. That causes depression. That causes anxiety. That causes burnout. That causes overload. That causes exhaust. So you have to unlearn that you have to work hard for your money. Don't quit your jobs. You have to have a plan. And anything that you do in life, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Stack your chips. Invest in a crib, invest in some stocks, get a laundromat, get some vending machines, get a car wash, get something that's passive income that you might not have to be there as much because your money is working for you. You're not working for it. And that's a great one right there. I had to unlearn and relearn that, and I learned that at the age of maybe, 29? Mm-hmm. Anything that you could think about that you had to unlearn to relearn?
I mean, I'll go into the aspect of health and wellness, just what a proper diet was.
Yeah, that's another one.
You know, for me, like, you didn't really see that many greens growing up, and it was normal to eat a huge amount of rice. You know, even practice veganism was like weird. I had to, you know, it was tough. It was definitely tough. You had to have meat in every meal. You know, majority chicken all the time in every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think that's tough. Yeah.
Yo, bro, that's a big one. Check this out. I'm going to tell you a story about that, right? There's 2 stories to this. When I was a little kid, my father used to say, El hombre que no come carne no es hombre. The man who doesn't eat meat is not a man. Pause. Right? Bro, and one time, I'm mad young. I'm like 11 years old. My father drops me off at my grandmother's crib, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting babysat. My grandma did rice and eggs. I looked at him like, yo, this is for poor people. Bro, because my father instilled that in me, you feel me? Yo, first of all, my grandmother smacked the hell out of me. Second thing that she made me do, she took away the spoon from me and she made me eat all the rice and the egg grain by grain with my fingers. True story. Dominican madness.
That sounds accurate.
You feel me? So then I'm 13 at that point, and back to what you were saying is like, so I've always ate like chicken, steak, a shrimp. It's more protein than any greens on the plate, right? With rice or with pasta, which then that goes into diabetes, obesity, and all that other stuff. I had to unlearn all that, and even to this day, I have a bad habit. I eat everything on the plate. If you ever go out with me, friends, girlfriend, family, I eat every single thing on the plate. And that's been something that's been hard for me to unlearn because it's been habitual, creatures of habits, you know what I'm saying? But as I'm getting older and older and I feel my joints, I feel my gut health, wow, it's different. Now I'm eating less rice, less pasta. I'm even trying to subtract the meats and all that stuff because the meat is not the same. Back in the days in 2000, my grandmother said this in the year 2000, like Y2K. She said this, that's not real meat. Because when she used to cook it back in the days, she grew up in a farm in DR, and every time you cook real meat, is flesh. You see the blood coming off of it, right? She would say in 2000, the year 2000, literally 2000, she would say that's fake meat because it's turning black when you cook it. So my grandmother was up on this in the year 2000. People talking about vegan diet, this diet in 2015, 2020 right now. Like, yo, bro, my grandmother been on this and she been called it out. So when she found out that in 2000, she stopped cooking meat and she just kept up with the chicken and fish. Then the chicken became fake. Think about it like this, big bro. This is how you know that the government is playing games. Y'all remember when it was that Popeye's chicken frenzy?
Mm-hmm. The chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fire, right?
I've only had it once.
Yeah, me too. I had it like 2 or 3 times, right? Because I'm around kids all day, so like they be putting me on, your coach, you should eat this. I don't really like to eat from fast food restaurants, the oil and all that other stuff. We could get into that another time. Y'all remember that for 2 weeks there was no chicken for the Popeye's chicken sandwich? They ran out of chicken. Mm-hmm. Literally, they ran out of chicken. Popeye's is closed, no chicken sandwich, only drumsticks and this and the third. How the hell they got so many chickens in 2 weeks?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
But so I mean, I do know and I can tell you, but it's like they cloning, stem cells, we eating fake chicken. We got Bill Gates over here with a whole bunch of acres, like making fake fruit and fake vegetables.
Yeah,
if you haven't done that, like look that up too. Like there's a lot of things that you really gotta unlearn to relearn. And we can keep on this topic because like it's just a mindset. It's the mindset. And you two gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all kings, y'all have shifted that mindset and you understand that it's not normal and that you might not want to be a vegan. So that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be comfortable. You're trying to really shift that. And it's like, that's what it starts with. It just starts with one step. Like, you don't got to do it every day. Just be like, all right, cool. I'm going to do it one day today. I'm going to do meatless Mondays. I'm going to do vegan Saturdays only. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's little implementations that you got to do to get an exponential growth. It starts in increments, little baby steps.
Can we talk about this real quick? Can, like, talk about unlearning and one. Can you put your nails to the camera real quick? Because my man's got the fire,
the fresh mani.
The fresh manicure right now. That's how men gotta learn. Having dirty nails ain't it.
Hey,
yo,
hygiene.
Hygiene is everything.
Yo, I could talk about that. Yo, thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, clean face, clean hands, clean nails, clean attitude, clean character.
Yes.
You feel me? At the end of the day, like...
That's why I say it. Shape up, go a long way, bro. I be broke as fuck. Fresh, I be clean, though.
Yo, it really does matter. How you're shaking somebody's hand, how you're holding a pen, how you're holding your cup. Like, people are looking at these things unconsciously, you know what I'm saying? And back to when I was a phys ed teacher, you know that these principals, they don't want you to give homework because they want everybody to pass and all these other things, right? The first assignment that I always gave in the beginning of the school year, I used to tell everybody, tomorrow, there needs to be a deodorant in your bag. Real talk, because
you want to have it on the go.
You know what I'm saying? And you're in gym. We just went hard. We played wiffle ball, volleyball. We did workouts, whatever the case may be. You're a young kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might not be tapped in with your hygiene or your self.
Nah, that's a fact.
Yo, I used to tell people, yo, deodorant. And then I would do book bag checks. So after class was over.
Oh, nah, you want
no, not arm checks. Book bag checks, like, yo, show me your deodorant. And then I would give you a check plus. And then a lot of dudes was getting zeros for like the first week. And then it got to the point that everybody had deodorant. Because you think about it like this. You going ham first period, but you get out ninth.
Yeah.
You going to smell like what the what? You know what I'm saying? So hygiene is very important. It's also a part of intimacy, health. And I teach that because being intimate with another person is part of intimacy, but the actual intimacy starts with yourself. Yeah. Like taking care of your shape up, taking care of your skin, taking that bath, taking that cold shower, using that lotion, looking at yourself in the mirror like, yeah, I'm that dude right now, you know what I'm saying? So like intimacy is very important, and we teach that in the 7 pillars of health. So thank you for bringing that up.
So that's a perfect way to segue into, you know, our next topic that we want to cover is, you know, you host a plethora of events. I think you said 7 pillars of health, generational wealth. What can you run down them one by one? What's the goal behind them, and you know how did it start? for the listeners.
So basically, man, as you know, and once again, shout out to Pudge,
Damn.
and shout out to Daniel Damn Yo.
Damn,
He was
yes, sir.
he used to bother me all the time when we used to do velvet rope events, man. He was like, "Yo, my boy got this bar, his father, and he changed it. You gotta come velvet ropes." And that's actually how this. Before we get into generational wealth, I want to talk about that a little bit, if possible.
Go ahead, of course.
I love velvet ropes, man. Started with 4 brothers. One of my homies passed away. Another one of my homies just decided to like move on into his own journey and ride his own bus. Respect. And then it just ended up being me and one of my other homies, and we went ham for a while. We had 20 yacht parties, 400 people. We sold out every single yacht party. We was doing.
Yo, definitely. I've been there.
You know what I'm saying? And then like, I've never ever done a party or an event in a club, because that's not my vibe. That's not our type. You know what I'm saying? So back then when we were doing velvet rope events, it was about empowering the community and building a community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, one of my mans was a nurse. Another one of my mans was a physical therapist, and it was 2 teachers. So our community was all powerful people, and it was people that were on their journey of finding themselves, or like looking for somebody to date, or looking for the next thing. And we started this 8 years ago. I love velvet ropes, and that's what kind of helped me like get to this, because during the pandemic, I remember it like it was yesterday. I had done my first Voice of the City showcase. This is where I was transitioning, because one of my biggest goals is about Madison Square Garden. I gotta sell that out, bro. I gotta put that on my resume. And it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what it looks like, but it matters what it feels like. You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
So shout out to my brother Pudge, Voice of the City Part 1, sold out SOBs. And the reason I love Pudge so much is because he's aligned with my principles. He's aligned with my core value. Last Stop is aligned with core values. Joey, Los, Damn Yo, everybody behind the bar, everybody that works here, you know what I'm saying? So we always did things for a greater purpose. During the pandemic, this is how my journey started, really, with all the like financial literacy stuff, because before the pandemic in 2015, I was paying tens of thousands of dollars for like emotional and mental classes that Oprah and P. Diddy were taking. And like a lot of people don't know that, because back then in 2016, like you'd be a weirdo if you're talking about emotions and mindset and all these other things, right? So I've always been on this. And even as a little kid, like I was always conscious. Like I used to love Hove, but I also used to like Nas. Long story short, pandemic started, no events, everybody was clapping, gratitude at 7 p.m. Right, remember that? Nobody cares about that shit anymore, right? Short-lived. I was like, yo, like, I gotta do more, man. Like, I'm not making money with velvet ropes. I love socializing, man. I believe humans are the biggest resource in the world. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're currently at a war for data. If you don't know, the war that we're currently at is for data.
Yeah.
Back
it's
then,
an info war.
You feel me? Back then, we were at a war for oil, for gas. Humans are the biggest resource on earth, because you can open up a door for me that Google, Monster Jobs, YouTube, or whatever can't open up for me. So I always love being around people, and I always love bringing people together, like-minded, dynamic individuals. That stopped everything, and I had to figure out how to make money. So what I did was, like, I was already locked into the financial journey right before the pandemic about real estate and all these other things, and I took out my pension, big bro.
You took out your pension?
Yeah.
Wow.
I took out my pension from the DOE, and there was 2 other, and at that time, I'm like, I'm doing so much research. I'm soon doing so much data. I'm learning
That's
about
tough.
Burr, I'm learning about flips, I'm learning about holds, I'm learning about multifamilies. This is like, about like 6 years ago. I remember one of the first times that I was trying to make a big deal amongst my boys. And I was like, yo, look, listen, I called 5 dudes to my crib. I knew these 5 dudes for a fact had 50 bands in their account. So
Okay.
I'm like, yo, I don't know what we're gonna do, because there's so many things in real estate that we can do, but we gotta do something. So we have the meeting in my crib. You know me, like I take out the index boards and all this thing I'm writing in my house and everything like that. And I'm like, yo, fellas, every Sunday, come to the crib. We'll start at 11 a.m. and we'll be out by 3 p.m. My mom will cook, we'll figure this shit out, whatever it is. That shit was only one Sunday, bro.
Damn.
You know how it is, you feel me?
Yeah, no, that's fact. It's
So-
hard to motivate people, but yeah. I
Yeah,
get
so
it.
back to the bus. So like they got on the bus for one time and then they just got off the
next
stop.
stop.
You know what I'm saying? So I had my cousin and this lovely lady believe in me, and they took out their pensions. My cousin was working in the post office, and this girl was a teacher. They took out their pensions. We got into a house in the Poconos. We bought it like at $100,000. You don't know what you don't know, right? We all looking at each other. We all killing each other. Like, yo, it's your fault. It's your fault. I'm like, yo, bro, like I've never done this in my life. How is it my fault? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Long story short, the property appraised double within like 5 months.
Of course.
So we sold it. Everybody made their money. Everybody was happy, whatever the case may be. My cousin and the girl, they look back at me and they be like, we should have kept the house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like, I guess, like, you don't know what you don't know.
Think
Look,
about 5 months. Think about 2 years, 3 years.
hindsight is 2020, big bro.
Yeah.
And we're working with other people, you feel me? So, like, we just, like, the exit strategy was just like, yo, like, we just came up twice, doubling our money. Let's do this. So I did this in the beginning of the pandemic. Like, the beginning, like, no cap, it must have been like March 20th. After, like, March 15th happened. So then I started doing this. Then I got my money. I made like $12,000 off of GameStop on some like super lucky shit. On some super lucky shit, right? Right? Like, shout out to my man Danelle. He was the one that put me on. Like, he went to Horace Mann right here up the block. And he was like, this is gonna be bigger than Volkswagen in 2008. And I was like, so like, I'm seeing him purchase like $10,000 at GameStop, taking money from everywhere, like
Nah, he
robbing.
put $10,000 on that
Bro,
GameStop.
10,000, yo,
Yeah,
bro,
he's
10,000.
definitely up.
Yo, bro, he did not. He put way more than 10,000. I'm not gonna put your business out there, but he made it.
He's up.
You feel me? He cashed out crazy, and I'm seeing this dude buying like $10,000 at GameStop in my house at like 136, and I'm like, that's how much the stock was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, you know, I'm just gonna wait. He was like, yo, you can't time the market. At this point, I didn't know too much about stocks and stuff like that. So you can't time the market. Like, that's the number one thing. So the GameStop had shot up to like 150, and then it came back down to like 120 something. So I bought it at 120 something, right? So I'm going through the financial journey, bro. And like the world is closed, but my money's still working for me, you feel me? And I'm still making this bread. The tool. Money is a tool. The tool has to work harder for you than you work for it. And if you're using the tool the wrong way, the only way that I can make an analogy is like, think about having a nail and think about using the end of the hammer to nail it in. You're using the tool the wrong way. So I'm like, nah, man, like, this financial literacy thing is really health. Like, that's what it's about. Like, this is health. This is not to get rich. This is not to anything. This is health. This is generational wealth. Like, these are things that we gotta pass down.
Yeah.
We're teaching people financial optimization. We're teaching people holistic health. It's branded as finances, but it's really more than that. It's all of the 7 pillars.
Yeah.
So we teach a course on generational wealth where it's 4 classes, right, in 30 days. It's a 30-day wealth program. So you sign up for the program, and in the program, the first course that we teach is mindset and planning, right? Like, and this course is not for everybody. Like, we vet the people that pay for the course. Like, this is not like, oh, yo, I know my man, come through, yo, I got you. Nah, because like, we want you to fit the mold.
How much is the course?
We ain't gonna talk about that right now, you feel me? Because I'm saying, like, it costs a pretty penny, you know what I'm saying?
It's not. I feel like when it comes to certain people, when they reach a certain age, they understand that when they pay a certain buck, even if it's expensive, they're probably going to see that in return if it's able to change their practices, learning and unlearning, to their finances are making sense. Like, for a company that I work for, it's a media company, but people pay top dollar for it because it's giving them their return in stocks and bonds and
Right.
things of that sort.
It's a value thing too. Like they
Yeah.
understand the value of it. So
Yeah.
So the first course is mindset and planning. Like, we give you tools, and we give you a little bit of homework too, you know what I'm saying? Because it's
course.
like, you're not gonna become a millionaire and a billionaire in a month. You can, right? But this is not a course for you to quit your job. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go and quit my job and I'm gonna go make money. Nah, we're giving you the tools. You take the tools and you do what you want with the tools. There's 4 courses. The first course is mindset and planning. We teach you that it's 168 hours in a week, 24 hours in a day. How are you breaking up your hours? How long does it take for you to brush your teeth? How long does it take for you to walk to the train? How long does it take to you to use the bathroom?
Yes.
Right? So it's about like maximizing your time, optimizing
Time management. Time management.
which-
Very important.
Very important, right? So how many parents are out here running with their kids to class at school in the morning because they didn't get up on time or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And other things. How many people are late to work every day? It's because they don't understand. And then there's some things that you're out of control, traffic, delays, everything like that. So planning for those things, right? The second class is funds and taxes. So we teach you about funds like Roth IRA. We teach you about stocks. We teach you about crypto, right? We don't teach you to invest in these things. We teach you the opportunities that there are to invest, because we do not tell people what to do and we do not tell people what not to do.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to get sued.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, remember, like at the end of the day, I'm giving you the tool. It's how you
Yeah.
use the tool,
Yeah.
right?
It's the foundation.
Hammer or backwards. The third course is real estate, right? Like that's one of my main strengths out here, and we teach you real estate planning. The fourth course is how to build a business, and with the fourth course, how to build a business, we also teach you what nobody knows: how to exit a business. Right? Like, so if you're not scaling and you don't have volume, bro, like, you got to find a way to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like paying Uncle Sam and like draining yourself, exhausting yourself. Or if you have scaled and volume and you want to settle equity, we teach you that too. And then after the fourth course, we give everybody a free LLC.
That's dope.
That's tough.
Yeah,
You
that's
feel me?
dope.
We want to empower everybody to be a business owner. We want to empower everybody to do what's best for them and the next person in line. We want to empower people to build their legacy. And the most important thing that we have figured out is that people don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what you don't know. I'm gonna keep going back to that. And it's like when you in the rat race, 9 to 5, and then now you're working overtime, 9 to 9. Like, how are you gonna have time to study? How are you gonna have time to like see what's next, what's more? Like, what is it that you're leaving for your kid?
Yeah.
Even if you don't got a kid, what is it that you're leaving for your little sister?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you writing these trusts? Are you doing these other things? So it's like, we just want to make sure that we empower everybody. Aside from getting the free LLC, we also give you accountability coaches for 6 months. So at any point in time that you feel like you're hitting a wall, or you want to share your empowerment and your growth, you get 15 minutes on the phone with us, and like we coach you through these things, right? Or like we empower you through these things. So it's a course that is very dynamic. It's not for everybody. And we're just doing, you know what I'm saying, we're living congruently in our purpose. And I'm saying like that's what I want to give the world right now. And that's what I'm doing with the world. So the 30-day wealth program that we do, that's just a program. And that program comes with a lot of tips and strategies from the 7 pillars of holistic health, right? Because we're doing holistic financial solution. It's finances, but it starts with the mindset, right? And then before it even starts with the mindset, it starts with the emotions. Like, how many times are you having a conversation with somebody and you can't control your emotions, right? The brain and the mind are two different things, but the mental and the emotional are two totally different things.
Yeah.
So like we just teach people those things as well. And it's been a great program. Now, we have the Generational Wealth Works events. These events we're teaching people, you come in.
So you have the courses, and now you have a different type, like a networking event?
There you go.
Okay.
So it's like when you come to the event, you feel me? Like you come to the event. Shout out to my man PTM Andres. He was the MC at the last one, and he killed it. Him and Moses Dope Mike. You know what I'm saying? So when you come into the event, it's a 2-hour event. Usually from like, depends on what time of the day it is or what part of the week it is. But like, let's just say it's a 2-hour event. The last one was from 11 to 1. So from 11 to 11:30. We have the hottest DJs and the hottest MCs in New York City, like vibing, giving you that affirmation, giving you positive energy, conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? Because you know motherfuckers in New York City is always late, bro. The train this, that, this and the third or whatever. So we want to make sure that we give people that enough time, that 30-minute plan, even though it's your 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like courtesy, we give you that 30 minutes just to get there. And if you got there early, you're listening to the best music, the conscious music, like awakening music, and people are sitting down. And yo, people come to this shit with notebooks, bro, and they're taking down, you know what I'm saying, notes. Then after that, after 11:30, from like 11:30 to about 12, I want to say, like it's about half an hour, we teach. Like, I get up there and I do my Tony Robbins motivational. You can do it too. There's always more. And it's like, with me, it's not fake. Like, it's really real. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to deep fake a Tony Robbins face on you.
Yeah, nah, hell no. Fuck him. It's Chris Works, baby. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to what you're doing, Tony Robbins. You know what I'm saying? But like, I got a different purpose, and I got a different community. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody.
I feel that.
So I'll come, I'll teach, and I'll preach, and then I'll talk about my journey. And I'll show people the tangible results that I've acquired in my financial journey. More importantly, the mindset, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, we break it down, we empower ourselves, everybody's taking notes, we wrap up shop, DJs get back to playing the live music, we put the chairs away, we network, we exchange cards, we exchange LinkedIn's, phone numbers, Facebook, IG, exchange energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's basically what we're doing right now. We just want to make sure that we're empowering everybody to be empowered. And we're empowering everybody to leave a legacy. Because there's 3 things, bro. Nobody knows how. That's the one. Like, there's actually 4 things. Right?
Yeah.
There's nobody knows how. I don't have the time. I don't know who to get it from, so that's the community. And then the number 4 thing is like, I don't have the money. So we make sure that we hit all 4 of those things at all of our shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to give you the funding. We're going to show you how you make the time. This is the community that you want to be a part of. So I've just grown so much in my journey, and looping back to Velvet Ropes, I love everything that Velvet Ropes stands for. I love everything that Velvet Ropes did. I love how it empowered our community. I love how we build such a dynamic community of beautiful individuals. And what I had learned during the pandemic is, like, I was also seeing, like, damn, like, people are coming up here getting drunk. Like, they're not leaving as them full selves, and those things. So, like, that's why, like, I had to kind of, like, take a step back from Velvet Ropes, because, like, I want to empower everybody holistically. So it's like, what am I doing out here? Like, if I'm throwing parties, which is a beautiful community. We're talking about professionals. We're talking about people.
Having a good time, setting an atmosphere for people to come.
No fights, like, professional. You come in classy, you leave ratchet. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for me, it's like, damn, like, I'm giving people the devil's juice. They're making bad decisions. They're going home with this person, and that person doesn't really want to go home with that person. I know that in my heart of all hearts, and that's just how I just had to switch it up. Because remember, I'm chasing somebody else. I'm chasing a different Chris. That was just a chapter in my life. So now with this generational wealth thing, this is a timeless, endless product. It doesn't matter if you're 13. It doesn't matter if you're 83. There was a banker that was there at the last one, and he came with his 9-year-old daughter.
What?
Yeah, brother.
That's fire.
That's dope. Yeah.
The camera don't lie, film don't lie. I say that in sports, and I say that at events. You feel me? And that's just what we're doing, man. Like, hopefully he can attain this knowledge, or has attained this knowledge, and pass it on.
Yeah.
And then she pass it on, and then maybe she even tells a friend or whatever it is. But so that's what we're doing right now, and we have a whole team that's working extremely difficult behind the scenes. And with me doing this generational wealth thing, like, I've always been a low key dude. I have a lot of no. Like, I'll be in the scene. Like, I'm always on the scene. Everybody knows me, and I know everybody. Humans are the biggest resource. Back to that, right?
Yes.
So, like, I'm always on the scene, and, like, everywhere I go, it doesn't matter if it's Harlem, Brooklyn, the park, little kids, old people. Everybody knows me, and it's just like, it was different because, like, you don't got a camera on you 24/7, and I don't got to talk about, oh, this is what generational wealth is like in financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to do that now. Before, I didn't have to say, oh, this is Velvet Ropes, because you were coming with 3 new people every time.
Yeah.
And, like, the community just kept expanding and growing. That's how we sold out 20 yacht parties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gangster. And
Fun.
yeah.
Good time.
Great time. You know what I'm saying? And for us, we just want to give people more. We want to pour into people, you know what I'm saying? And I got so much support, I got so much energy that this is where I'm at right now in my life and my journey. And hopefully sooner or later we sell at Madison Square Garden, doing one of these, or whatever positive impact we can leave on the world. That's how I want to do it. Because for me, it's not about what it looks like, it's about what it feels like. And this feels really, really good right now. And I'm just excited, man. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface with this, and like, we're really doing our thing. We're out here selling courses. We're out here teaching. We're like paying it forward, and that's what I'm about, man. That's what generational wealth is about right now.
I love it. So I guess, more of a personal question to you. You're doing all these public speaking events. I'm on IG. I see a plethora of dudes that come on, talk that motivational stuff. Who's if not a who or a what is that gives you that inspiration when you go up stage and you want to motivate people? Who's someone that you looked into and like, damn, I want to, hopefully spread my message like this person, or this is the reason why I spread my message like this?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And we spoke about this before the cameras came on. I've never been starstruck in my life.
Yeah.
I've met Stephon Marbury, my favorite basketball player, like 3 times. I've never been starstruck. I've met, back then when I was a little kid, like my favorite running back, I've never been starstruck. I've been in live, like Miami, Vegas, top clubs with a lot of artists, and I've never been starstruck.
Rihanna.
We could talk about that.
We
could talk about that. We could talk about that. Yo,
pull out the Balenciagas.
Big bros, y'all was there.
It's the bigger